The current F-150 is a hit. Sounding like hotcakes, I tell you. We just got to freshen her up a little. Maybe give her a hairdo, a new dress. Well, what else? I'm thinking maybe... Ooh, drop my pen. Get a new fit, add some lipstick here. Mwah. Time to go clock out, go home to my wife and my child, eat some Salisbury steak, and watch Mike Tyson knock out this Carl schmuck. But your boss stops you on your way out, points you to his office. You can only imagine what's about to go down.
So as you know, this truck ain't really been redesigned since '79. We just kind of been fucking with it until it works again, right? And it's almost 1990. That puts the year 2000 10 years away. Sir, if you don't let... Shut up, I'm still talking here. Now listen, and these computers don't kill us. We're gonna have to have a nice, sleek, sexy truck for the new world that the new age person is gonna buy. So we got a lot of work to do. You got a lot of work to do.
The PN96 program was a risk from the beginning. Trucks at the time were a tool used by your blue-collar guy to get work done. You know, they were boxy, bench seats, pretty much stylish with like rubber floor mats and just designed to do work for the most part. But at the same time, the market was shifting. More and more people were buying trucks. More and more people were buying higher trim level trucks. And it's like trucks were becoming a vehicle that you didn't buy because you needed, you bought because you wanted. Like not something you had to drive, but something you wanted to drive. And Ford was anticipating that shift, and that's why they started planning the PN96 program. Funnily enough, this design for the second-gen Dodge Ram was chosen around the same time Ford decided they needed to make a sleeker new truck. But unlike Dodge, that wanted to make a masculine truck that didn't mimic the stylings of the cars of yesterday, Ford wanted to design a truck that did mimic the stylings of the cars of tomorrow. Despite early focus groups hating on the sleek aerodynamic design of the PN96, I mean, just a bunch of fucking NPCs chirping the same shit they hear chirped to them, too blind or scared to have a goddamn original opinion, Ford's upper management stuck through with their new idea, going as far as dropping the twin I-beam front suspension for independent front suspension for a softer ride. Dodge smoked Ford, dropping the second-gen Ram in '93, earning record sales and Motor Trend's Truck of the Year. This is truly a great truck, despite the fact that you could blame it for changing the truck market for the worst and being the first domino that caused today's truck market. Ford panicked, starts rushing their new design, starts making luxury versions of the 9th gen F-150s to fill the gap. Or at least that's what I like to imagine. I never imagined Ford doing anything properly anyways. I always imagined it just a fucking rush job, you know. Shit's on fire, people are just fucking running around like, let's go. Just always barely squeezing by. That's how I imagine Ford.
Sir, I finished the new F-150. It's been in the wind tunnel. It's got way more spacious interior with captain's chairs. It's much more comfortable. Independent front suspension, making it much easier to drive. This is truly a truck your grandmother could drive. And there's still room for a straight axle up front for the F-250 model. I'm sorry, what? Where's the F-250? Huh? Where's the fucking F-250? You mean to tell me this whole fucking time this is what you've been working on? Where the fuck's my F-250, huh?
Sir, we've always built the F-250 on the same chassis. I don't get the...
What does that say right there? What does that say right there, huh?
Oh, my bad.
Fuck! Alright, I'll get to work. Oh, we're gonna have to keep selling the old truck. Fuck.
So, in anticipation for this new shift in the truck market, Ford changed plans. You see, normally when they design a new truck, they just design a new truck and then they build the F-250 on the same platform, the F-350 on the same platform, and don't really worry about it until they get to commercial vehicles. But this time they decided, no, we need a dedicated F-150 chassis, the PN96, and then we need a dedicated Super Duty chassis, the PHN-131. So for some reason, I have no idea why, I can't find any information. I can only assume that the PHN-131 was not ready. So they released the F-150 in 97 with no new truck to accompany it. No F-250, no F-350. They basically released the fucking grandma truck for your grandma to drive and forgot to give the people that needed work done to a truck that they could do work with, right? And it's like, oh, so what do? They put a damn straight axle on the F-150 is what they did. And they called it the F-250 light duty. And they didn't just put any straight axle on it. No. It was like, all right, I'm pretty sure the F-150 was a 5-lug truck. So you could have gone up to 6-lug, right? If you really didn't want to do 8-lug, you don't want to compete with the Super Duty that's ready to come out. That makes sense. Let's do 6-lug. They put 7 lugs on that bitch, bro. Ford's the only company to have done this. For God knows why. People that own this truck laugh at the idea of getting rims, bro. It's stocks or nothing. Literally, it's stocks or nothing. They put 7-lug axles on the fucking F-150 and called it the F-250 light duty.
Doggone it, TJ. I know you can't tell the difference between a water hole and a commode, dang that, but I tell you what, they ain't made no goddamn Super Duty till 9 and gosh darn 99, gosh darn it. My people, me, my pap had a 97 and a 98 and 910 F-250 with a Dodge darn 7 tree 4-wheel drive, grand low, dang that, you don't know anything, get your facts straight.
At the same time, they sold the 9th gen F-250 alongside of it. Because a diesel wasn't going to fit in this F-150 body. So the F-250 light duty only had a 5.4 Triton in it. So in order to get a diesel F-250 or up, you needed to buy a 9th gen. And then in late 98, they started building the new Super Duties for 99. You can get anything from a V10, 5.4 Triton, 7.3, and eventually a 6.0. But nobody gives a fuck about that. 6 blows. 6 suck my dick.
7 tree all the fucking way.
And so, yeah, essentially in a stroke of Ford being Ford, they were in a pickle and put straight axles on a F-150 and sold it as the F-250 light duty for a year. And why they use 7-lug axles, Lord knows. Like, I couldn't tell you, man. Well, it was the 90s. I mean, Coke was still pretty good then, right? I don't know. I wasn't born then. I really wouldn't have any idea. I think it was after the crack epidemic. I'm just trying to think of reasons why they might have done this, but either way, when the Super Duty did come out, they dropped the F-250 light duty, and they dropped the 9th gen too. But you still could buy the truck. You could get it as a package. It was called the 7700 package on the F-150. They got you the 7-lug axles. They got you either the 10.25 rear end or the 10.5 rear end. I don't know. It was a Sterling rear end, right? I don't know exactly. I'm not that smart. It got you everything the F-250 light duty got you, but this time it was badged as an F-150 7700R. And then when they came out with the next gen, they were like, yo, this 7-lug axle was such a fucking good idea. God, we're so good at coming up with shit, bro. Fuck, who thought of that? Give that guy a fucking raise, dude. Fuck yeah. And I think it was called the HPDD package on the 11th gen F-150s. Heavy duty payload package or something like that, right? They had 7-lug axles up until 2014. And these trucks are so fucking stupid. When you have the Super Duty option, you got the light duty option, You need it just seems really stupid to sell, and I'm amazed they did sell. These trucks, what they are, the person that bought this new was the old man that was towing strictly a caravan. Just strictly a camper. That's all he wanted to tow. He didn't want a big ass truck. He didn't want a diesel. He just wanted a fucking F-150 that could comfortably tow his camper. And this truck is great for that. And that is who bought these. And just besides that, I think they're dumb. But I think they're cool. And I think the fact that we have them now in the used market is awesome. Because it's like, now you just go fucking on Facebook Marketplace and find a F-150 with like damn near F-250 payload capacity. Not quite, but you know, better than your average F-150s. And it's like, you know, it seems great. It seems like a steal. It's a great idea. Why wouldn't you do that? Just make sure it's got fucking rims on. Like, bring your own wheels is a red flag always, but especially with that. And let me go ahead and make a broader point about the trucks being sold at this time as a whole, because it is a pivot point in the truck market, arguably for the worst. I mean, these are like when trucks started to get more consumerized and more like, oh, you know, it's more of like a fashion statement and something to take the kids to school in, and you know, and eventually, like 20 years later, we'll have the truck market we have today, right? And we can kind of blame these for that truck. We can kind of blame these for the trucks we have today. But at the same time, I think this transition period is just the perfecto fucking best trucks ever. GMT 800s, the second gen Rams, these 10th gen Fords. Fuck what any of y'all got to say. These are some of the best trucks ever to exist. It is the perfect blend of consumerism and getting work done. They're still reliable at this time. This was before trucks got unreliable, but they're comfortable. They're plenty big enough, not too big, not too small. Extended cabs, you can get long beds, standard beds, short beds, crew cabs, flare sides, like anything you wanted. And it's the perfect truck, really. Any of these options is the perfect truck in my opinion. And I'm not here to say Ford is the best, because I mean, let's be real, it's not. I'm sorry. If you clicked on this video, maybe it's because you like these, but it's not the best out of the 3 trucks I listed. But I am here to say it's unfairly remembered as an ugly spark plug shooting piece of shit. All right, that's a load of fucking bullshit. I will say Tritons never run right, but by God, do they never stop running. If you've blown one up, that's your own damn fault, and you should be ashamed of yourself. My dad's 2000 4.6 has 340k miles. The lifters have been tapping on heaven's door for years now. Sounds like it's gonna stall if you strain the power steering too much and it rod knocks on cold starts. But she's still pushing. She got me to school and working back when all my shit boxes were broken. I've taken that open diff 2-wheel drive truck on street tires more places than I should admit. Love you, Dad. Tritons constantly push 300k miles. I mean, these are Crown Vic motors, for God's sake. That should say more than enough for the reliability. It was a smaller body truck that felt big and comfy on the inside and was more than capable if you got the 7700 package. Just gotta deal with 7-lug wheels.